Ta-da! I like that. All right. Now let me get caught up here. Hey, Casey. Okay, I'm glad to see some. I'm glad that someone's here for our pre-show. Casey's here. Uh, so yeah, this is Patrick from Eight Questions With. Welcome to the show. This is yet another first for me. Not only am I interviewing Dennis again, but it's not just Dennis. It's the whole cast of Daddy, We're Back. And I caught the tail end of your interview when you did on with John from Doomsday Crypt.
Sure.
I caught the end of that, and I was so charmed to watching you guys talk. The two girls are so delightful.
Thank you.
Yolanda, Valencia and Angela are so delightful. So I had to come back and ask you guys to come back on. I wanted, and you said, "Can I come back on?" And I said, "Yes, but you have to bring the girls."
Yeah.
So they'll be here in about 15 minutes or so.
Yes, sir.
I want to say thank you again for last night, everybody who showed up for our interview with Jennifer Blanc. That was an absolutely that was a Grail interview for sure. Jennifer was extremely nice, very sweet, and to be able to talk to Michael Biehn for about 10 minutes, added bonus. And so glad we had that. So glad we did a great show yesterday. StreamYard was acting up last night. That wasn't on her. Yeah, we had a little bit of glitch problems toward the end of our StreamYard, and so we didn't get completely finished our interview. But it happened. I thought it was us. I thought it was on our part, but it was actually StreamYard.
Oh.
Yeah, StreamYard was because a couple more streams had. I saw a couple more live streams, and they had mentioned they were having problems. Hey, Jaden, how are you, sir? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. So, of course, you recognize Dennis. Dennis was here about a couple of months ago, I think it was, right?
Yep.
So yeah, and you've been making your way around our community, around the tube. I saw Katie interview and Karen and Steven and Boom got a hold of you. That's all right though.
It's fun. You guys are so close. You guys are so tight knit. It's actually pretty cool. It really is.
Yeah, we it's a lot of fun. A lot of people. There's a lot of support here in our community. That's one thing I'll say right now. It's like, there's a lot of sharing. That maybe a lot of people can't necessarily make the show itself, but they'll at least pass it along, promote it, talk to friends about it or whatnot. It's tough for all of us. We're all really small tubers. We don't have a big audience per se. But we do what we can. Hi, Katie and John. I knew John would be here. I knew Katie would be here, and I have a feeling Karen will be here.
Got it.
And maybe Steven. Who knows? Maybe even Steven.
All my friends, huh?
I was really, yeah. Well, I think they're going to come over here and make sure that, I do as good a job as they do. I take a lot of. I take a lot of notes of my peers, to help improve my own skills. John and Katie and Steven are all, they're all pretty skilled operators. So
yes.
I really like watching other people. And Karen's really good, real good. I like watching other people interview so I can pick up some tips because I stutter a lot. I do a lot of ops. So
don't we all?
Yeah, so I'm just trying to get past that if I can.
You know what I did? I did a lot of public speaking, kind of along with the acting and stuff like that. And we always critique each other. I always had a buddy or a mentor in the crowd, and he would keep track of how many and we presented twice a week, like a Tuesday night and a Saturday morning. And we always try to pregame and just make ourselves aware of it. So the first time someone's tracking you, you're talking for about 45 minutes to an hour, which feels like forever. You've got about 999 and then you're made aware of it. And the next time around, you're aware of it. and when you're gonna say you think about it prior to, and you rather say nothing instead of an. So that's have somebody track it. Have somebody like keep score of how many, and then you can quantify it and correct it.
That might be something to do. I might have to ask some of my renters to do that one of these days. Just sit there and see how many times I go, you know. I think there was actually a song called like that. The you know, it was like a cartoon or something like that.
Sure. I'm a guest on your show, so I'm not going to keep track of that tonight for you. I'm not going to call you out.
Chadwick, welcome, sir. Chadwick's here. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take this chance to read the calendar. Though my calendar is really off. I gotta put some nails in this thing. I'm behind. I'm supposed to be booking March for Women in Horror Month, but it's hard as hell to do it. But I do think that yesterday's show will help open the door a little bit. You know, I was mentioning to you before, I was trying to get to the next level. Try to get to the next level as far as the guests go, and you know, increase and keep working like that. So if you get a little bit bigger guests and they have fun and they have and that's important that they have fun, then maybe that will spread out a little bit. Maybe they'll say something about, oh, that guy, yeah, he does a really good show.
Yep.
You can do a show with him. So so tomorrow night, the 9th of February, if actor Sean Riley will be here at 8 p.m. Sean Riley will be here. On the 10th of February, we have film director Asif Akbar will be here. Asif has just finished a film with Mickey Rourke and Michael J. White called The Commando, and he has had a lot of experience in the film industry. I interviewed his wife about a year and a half ago, Courtney. He was one of the producers of Clown Fear. So, but he'll be here talking about The Commando, and we'll ask him about what was it like working with Spawn. So, of course, I'm going to be really happy about that because Michael J. White is just awesome. On the 15th, as a matter of fact, we keep it in-house, in close, as we interview Steven from the House of Horrors. Now, me and Steven, we've done several shows together, but I have never interviewed him, so I don't really know his whole complete backstory. So we all know that come on the 15th. So he'll be the interviewee for the change. On the 16th of February, we have actress Sandy Johnson will be here. And you know why I'm here, and I'm talking about Sandy because she's a lovely lady. I need to figure out one thing. No one told me if I was right or wrong about this. I was trying to figure out on Halloween 1978. I was trying to figure out what role she played. She was Michael. I know she was Michael Myers' sister. She's the first person that got killed in the film. But what I was trying to do is trying to find out her name, and I want to say it was Judy, but Judith. Okay, Judith Myers. So it was sort of right. Okay. I was gonna say I was gonna get my fan card revoked if I got that wrong. If I would have said Judy or Judy, well, Judy counts, okay? Because my biological mom's name was Judith, and I call her Judy, so that counts. So leave me alone. My card's safe. My fanboy card is safe. But yes, thank you, John. John knows how much I absolutely love Halloween '78. It's like one of my very favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I just wanted to make sure that I got that right. So she'll be here on the 16th at 8 p.m. And then on the 17th, we have young director. Now John's clowning on me. What did I say, John? We have young director Joe Leone will be here with us on the 17th. And he did a movie called Reap. So we'll be talking to him about his film Reap and working on a budget and coming up. Actually, I want to say he's in your neck of the woods, Dennis.
Oh, nice.
I want to say he's Florida based. I don't know why. I think he is. Let's see. Casey says we all know Pat prefers trees have eyes. John says Patrick loves busting my chops on Halloween. See, look at all the propaganda here. Ooh, what the hell? You guys are supposed to be with me. Oh my God. You know, but I'll be ready for that interview. I will be damn ready for Sandy Johnson. Because she's had a really interesting life.
Hmm.
Yeah, she had a really interesting life, and it's gonna be really interesting to find out she was really on the rise. Actually, she had she has got a good start. She actually is a playmate. She started getting parts in movies, and she's on the rise, and then she just vanished. She just nothing. I mean, nothing. No cameos, no extras, no nothing on the film side of things. I'm not sure she did. I'm not sure she did. I'm not sure she did conventions or whatnot, but we'll ask her about that. But she's coming back, and she's got 3 films she's working on, so she is coming back. She is getting back involved in the business. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Karen. Oh my gosh, we got a crowd here. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you guys all for showing up tonight. I really, really do appreciate it so much. Yeah, she is. She's got 3 indie projects coming up, John. Yep. So the lady's getting back into the mix of things, and it just proves that you're never too old to get back into it. You got skills; they don't disappear. She's gonna be she's gonna be fine. I can't wait to talk to her. And then I'm talking to Joe Leone from Reap. I can't wait to talk to him. And then we have our first on the 23rd or 22nd. We have our first stand-up comedian. We have my friend Phil Johnson will be here at 8:30. Me and Phil, we actually met each other through our music careers. He played in a rock band called Roadside Attraction, and I was a talent buyer. And I had no idea that he had funny bones in him. But he has actually made himself a really nice career. He has toured the United States several times over as a stand-up comedian. So, and appearing on TV and whatnot. So he'll be here on the 22nd. On the 23rd of February, we have Roy and Becky's from Roy and Becky's Adventures, and they are van lifers. They're a very cute couple. They do a live stream every day, every weekday at 1 p.m. And they talk about things of the world, and they are really sweet and really funny. And they'll be here on the 23rd. And then to end the month, we have our good friend Phil from Phil's Creepy Vids, and he'll be here and he'll be talking about his background in horror, and we'll take a look at his massive and mighty collection. He's probably got the top 5 collection in our horror community, Dennis. Nice. He's got amazing figures. Just you have to see it to believe it. And he also does a live stream about once a week where we chop it up. Everybody comes in there and chops it up and talks horror, talks figures, talks anything that's on their mind, and anywhere between 1 to 2 hours a week. And it's a really good show. And that's February. I'm not going to say anything yet till about March until I have more heads in there. I do got some spots filled, but I need a lot more. So I'm going to keep that underneath wraps until then. So the girls will be here about right now. It's 8 o'clock straight up.
Yes, sir.
So while we wait for them, we'll just start getting going. Now I'm going to be real honest with you because since I booked this interview, I booked this with you a ways back.
Yes, sir.
I actually have been staying away from your other interviews because I didn't want to know the answers. So when I ask these questions, they'll be fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know. I didn't see your answers. So I know that sounds sort of cockeyed, but it makes the interview seem a little bit more organic because I really don't know.
So you're going to hit me with something new tonight, is what you're saying?
That's what I'm going to do. Because we got to catch up a little bit. So the last time you and I talked, it has been a while. So the last time you and I talked, Killer Miller had come out.
Yes. Wow.
And that's how long it's been. Wow. I did catch a little glimpse of Daddy, We're Back.
Okay.
And I watched a couple episodes.
Thank you.
Wow, that show is a lot of fun and different.
It's and that's what attracted me to it. When I auditioned for it, and if you look at my body of work, it's different than what I usually do in the roles I usually get offered. And when I read the scripts, I was really intrigued because they're contemporary, they're fast moving, they're upbeat, they're really touching on every contemporary issue today. And if you remember from our last time chatting together, I look for the kind of broken, kind of out there type of role, and here's like the opposite of what I usually do, and that's what intrigued me so much. And I was able to truly dig in to Richard. If you go through episodes 1 through 8, you see how he truly is an onion. He's got a great heart, tries to do good by everyone all the time, and loses sight of self. And he's you understand, and he shows the side that he is human, he is fallible. And I think that you were back through the episode, we touch on every aspect of life, of family living today, and just how the contemporary world works.
I'll take that advantage of the break to say hello to our other guests, Angela and Valencia.
Hi, how are y'all? How you doing?
Good. Welcome to the show. Yep. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Dennis. Hi, Dad.
Hi.
We see ourselves on split screen.
Can you all see? Are we both in the scene together, or is it look like half and half?
It's a little half and half. I don't know.
How to do that?
Is there any way I can? Yeah, let me switch the format here, the window format. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
You girls look beautiful as always. How you been? What's going on?
You too, Dennis. So handsome. Thank you so much.
I love the glasses. I missed the radio show. I missed the radio show the other day.
Dennis.
I was actually I had an early audition.
Yeah.
Run, and I called in at 10:05. I don't know if you were still there.
There it is. So much better. There we go. We're like our heads.
I called in at 10:05. So.
Okay.
So you called in at 10:05. They had several calls coming in, and they were just like picking them up and stuff. So it was so cool.
Yeah. So we were looking for you to call, so we'd be like, okay, bring you on, and we have a conversation or what have you regarding it. So
well,
there will definitely be more times.
When they picked up at 10:05, I basically said, ask them what they thought of Dennis Mallen's depiction of Daddy. And they're like, all right, well, they're like, well, who are you? Oh, I'm Dennis Mallen.
You know what, too, Dennis? It's like, because we got a lot of calls that came in like afterwards, too. Yeah, after. And had we known you were one of them, we would have been like, put him through.
We were doing some promo stuff at the end, and we were like, we got callers.
Callers are calling in. And we're like, oh my gosh. But we did get to talk to, a lot of people on air, which is really cool, and all of that, too. So, yeah.
Sorry, Patrick. We don't get together that often, and we just kind of.
We gotta fill our dad in on what's going on.
I'm actually listening to them talk because I know they're going to be answering each other's sentences, just like they did on John's show, which was absolutely blew my mind.
It so happens. Yeah,
it happens all the time.
So let me ask. I guess the first question is what I've been dying to ask since I watched you two on that show. Are you guys real life sisters and twins, or what?
We are real life sisters. And we're not twins. We are Irish twins.
So we're less than a year apart.
Yeah.
But we really are sisters.
Yeah.
How long have you been able to do that? To be able to sit there and answer questions like that.
I don't know.
It's weird to us too.
It really does.
Out of the blue,
we'll do it. And it just happened. Our family they're very aware of it. So we could be out doing a huge family gathering or whatever, and we're talking and saying something, and we'll say at the same time, and they're just like,
oh my gosh, there we go.
There we go again. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Because it
does.
Because I was watching the interview with when you were on Doomsday, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to you talk, but I'm actually watching John. I'm watching John in the interview, and he's like, I can see it in his mind. I can see little explosions going off in his head because he's like, this is so cool, and I'm going, I want to do that. Can I, you know, and when Dennis came over and he says, well, how about doing another interview? And I'm going like, well, yeah, of course. But you gotta bring the, I thought you guys were twins. So I said, you got to bring the twins with you because I want to talk.
Yeah. That's cool.
Happy to be here, Patrick. Happy to be
No,
yes,
I'm glad
thank you for thinking of us, Dennis.
Yes.
My pleasure, ladies. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Patrick, just imagine doing a script read with them for the first time. Okay.
Oh my
and
God.
now they both wrote the entire season. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was going on my. They both wrote the entire season together. They both know all the words and lines together. So I'm doing a cold read for the first time, and I don't know who to look at, who to focus on, and you know,
yeah.
Right. It's been so much fun, and you know, when you're on set, I say all the time, with people for a week, 2 weeks, 2 years, you build such an affinity for each other.
It really does.
Rapport and relationship, and it's been such a great time. It really
has been for us too.
It really has.
Yep,
we connected immediately. That's one of those things. We absolutely connected immediately. And just like you said, Dennis, it was that whole family type feel in the beginning, and we all just
we felt it from the audition tape. So even you know when we watched Dennis's audition tape, we had
you know what, since
people that auditioned. I'm sorry.
Since I hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Jamie. There's some troll bot came in, but Jamie handled it. Thank you, Jamie.
All right.
So since I've talked to Dennis before, and I mean I know a little bit about his story, but I know nothing about your story. Let's start with you two first. Like, where were you born and raised in?
We were Tampa. So I was born in Adel, Georgia, and my sister was born in Tampa, Georgia, but we were raised Tampa, Georgia. Tampa. But we were raised here. So this is home. We've been here our entire lives. And we just always had that bug. That entertainment bug has always been inside of us. Our father used to sing and you know, different places and have bands and things like that. And we would love it. We would love to say we all would harmonize with each other. We'd watch a show and a song would come on and we find ourselves you know, harmonizing with the commercials and things.
And repeating commercials.
And repeating it. Yeah. So we just knew that we wanted to do something that was going to be able to like entertain, make people happy, you know, do all those wonderful things. And we started off with a group called Bubblegum and Candy. Bubblegum and Candy. And we just started writing. At that point, it was our first love of starting everything, was starting to write music and write songs, I should say. And we started writing and we came up with a little song called Boy, You're Driving Me Crazy. And it did really, really well, you know, through Tampa and some other different places and things like that. And at that point, I think we were hooked.
We were hooked. It was like, you know, this is exactly what we were born to do. This is what we were created to do. And so from Bubblegum and Candy, we became Vision of Harmony, which is Christian gospel. And we wrote all those songs. We ended up releasing about 5 or 6 CDs that actually went out as national recording artists. And we loved it. But just like we turned that into, okay, we're writing all these songs as, you know, Bubblegum and Candy, as Vision of Harmony. We wanted to tap into the acting because a lot of what you do on stage as an entertainer, as a singer, is acting as well. You know, a lot of it's bringing in the drama. You become
the character,
someone else almost.
Exactly.
You know, when you're singing, and you know, you can have like a very shy person, but then you know, and we got that. You know, people were like, "Oh my God, you guys are shy," and did it, but we get up on the stage and come alive like, because it's
or they would say, "Are you really nervous?
Do.
Are you nervous about doing this show or this song?" And we're like, I mean, the normal nerves that you get, the bug, but it wasn't something that we thought, should we be doing this? I don't know if we should be doing this.
Now, how old are you when this happened?
Which one?
Well, first Bubblegum and Candy.
Bubblegum and Candy, we were maybe 16,
17,
no, 18, 19, 13. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. And how long ago was that?
A while ago.
It's been a while, Dennis.
It's been a while. And you never ask a lady their age.
Ask a woman.
That's great.
And even in
doing it a
regards to
while.
Bubblegum and Candy, like we might have been 2 or 3 years old, you know. What can I say? Old enough to know not to answer that question.
So you released? Did you self-release your albums?
No, we were with Ophir Gospel Records.
Okay. So you got picked up on the label.
We got picked up on their label.
Yep, and that was really, really cool because we made, I think, about 5 or 6 CDs. I think the total, something like that, that we did, and all those songs we wrote. Some of them we co-wrote, things like that. But it did very well. So we did a lot of where we would go to different churches and different places, and lots of singing and selling our CDs and just hanging out. It was just wonderful. We absolutely loved it, you know.
Yeah.
And then from that, like Angela was saying, we started writing this show. You know, and
It's
we
like,
just
let's
kind of
keep
put our
moving,
eyes
and
together,
so-
put our little, you know, heads together, and started saying, what about if we had this? What about
Yep,
if
we
we had that?
came
And we
up with
just
the
kind of
concept,
exactly,
and then just wrote around that concept.
exactly.
So you started writing the TV series when you were on tour.
No, not when we were on tour.
No,
But it was
we
like,
had
it
it
was
in our
like that
minds.
was before, and then we just, you know, but we were still singing. We still sang. But as we were singing, we were thinking, what's our next goal? Like, what else do we want to do? And at that point, it was like, we want to do a sitcom. We want to
do a
act. We
sitcom.
want to be a
We
part
want to
of
write
this.
it, direct it, produce
Exactly.
it,
Put
the whole
all the
9 yards.
hats on us. We
Yeah.
wanted to wear those hats, you know. And so we went for it. And that's
Yeah.
how.
And even now, I mean, we have different things that we're working on even now while this is writing. You know, like
Exactly.
Daddy, We're Back is our baby, and it's always, you know, something that we put in the forefront of regardless of what we're doing. You know, we could be getting ready to do a taping for a commercial or a hosting
Right.
a hosted event,
Right.
and we will find a way to reference Daddy, We're Back. You know,
We want to
'cause it's like,
definitely
that's
keep
our-
it going. We had an interview, Dennis was talking about the other day. They did an article on us, a couple of articles first, and then we were on the radio station, and we are talking about it all. I mean, we're talking about Daddy, We're Back because that's our baby right now. That's what we're trying to really get on out there and things like that. But we do talk about, you know, the other things that we've accomplished as well, as we
coming down
and
the
things that are
pipeline.
coming.
This is your Daddy, We're Back. This is like your first acting, though, right? This is the first time you actually acted.
Yeah, this is our
Yeah.
first time.
It is, Patrick.
acting.
It's so funny when we were writing it because as we were writing the characters and we were knowing who these characters were, it was like, okay, we got the characters and now we're in this story as well. Our characters, how do we want our characters to act? What do we want our characters to do? What is the purpose? What is the mission? What is the, you know, and so we had to memorize our own lines that we wrote.
And that would
You
be
know?
challenging. It sounds like, okay, we wrote it, we should know it, but like a lot of times we ask ourselves, okay, who did we give what role to? Who did we
Right,
give?
who's supposed to say
Who
what?
says this to trigger that? And then even for us, like we'd have to make sure we're saying our lines correctly because the person that we're in the scene with, we mess it up, you know,
They're not gonna come
pick
in.
up on their cue. So all of it was like, you know, different hats, most definitely, and keeping everything in alignment, you know, between the Zoom calls, like Dennis mentioned earlier, you know, the Zoom calls, the not just the audition piece, but also like the rehearsals, like you're talking about, the Zoom rehearsals and when we were going to have those on what, you know, who would all be in that particular one as a table read, exactly, type of thing. And then just keeping it all together. So
And
it's
we
a project that
learned
we're very
along the way and we're still
happy with.
learning. We're still learning.
Yeah,
This is
most directors and screenwriters, directors, they tend to cut their teeth on short films. You know, they do it short so they can learn as they go.
We
I
just
haven't
jumped
seen
in.
anybody.
Let's
We
just
just
do, let's
dived
just
into
do a
that puppy.
season.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody do a series as their first project.
Yeah. It was really, it was amazing. It really, really
You
was.
know, Patrick, just, you know, from my perspective, you know, I knew it was the first time the girls wrote, you know, from this, at this length, at this size of a project and stuff like that. But for them being their first, getting out there and acting, it looked seamless to me. It really, it didn't look like to me that it was your first acting gig. Honestly,
Thank you.
That means we did our jobs.
Honestly, from the rehearsals to, you know, we filmed, you know, over weekends, Patrick, really throughout the pandemic, quite frankly.
Really?
And no, you ladies brought it. You brought it from many perspectives. And here's the thing. You basically learned how to make sausage while you were grilling it and serving it.
Pretty much.
Not
It's a good
many
illustration.
people,
Yeah.
not many people do all that at the initial go. So kudos to both of you. I love you. That's
Because you had to gather. I mean, it's just thinking about this. You had to gather a film crew, and you had you know, that couldn't have been that easy. You know, because it's like you're brand new, and you know, a lot of even veteran crew people will walk up there and say, "What have you done?" and it takes a lot for a veteran crew to, well, this is our first project, we have never done anything like this before, but we feel like we want to do this, so will you come and do it with us, and for them to go ahead and take a leap of faith, because Dennis can tell you, for even doing crew, they're not always motivated. They're not always motivated in it for the money. They're motivated for, just like anybody else. They're motivated for the experience, for the work, to work with, get a chance to work with somebody else. I mean, there's all sorts of things. It's just as easy as just like, well, I'll just go hire a film crew and we'll get this going. It's not that easy. How did you get this? How did you get them? Go ahead, Dennis.
I'm sorry, just throwing my 2 cents. You're 100% right with everything you just said regarding crews and regarding cast. It was something unique about what we did. There's a blessing over what we did, without a doubt.
Totally.
Yeah.
From Marty St. John and his team and the crew, and Phoenix, having her down, and just everybody else, we really hit it off. And it, from my perspective, being the kind of old grizzly 25 plus year actor guy, it didn't seem like it was all brand new, if you would. I've been on sets. We've all been on sets where there's, the proven director and his cast and crew forever. It didn't feel any different. It really, from my perspective, it didn't feel any different. Hindsight being 2020, we all agree would have done different things differently, but it didn't seem like it. Nobody was wondering, what lens to use. What do we do with this? What do we do with that? Everybody came prepared and professional. I was, honestly.
Very good point. That's a good point, Dennis. And we believe that same thing too. We feel like it was to have had to come up with all this stuff and to deal with, okay, we have to have, 24 flicks. We have to have these people. We have to have the crew. We have to have the actors. We have to have everybody to be on one accord and to know your lines and be ready and change the drop of a hat if we've changed something, or, those types of things. And it just definitely, it was a godsend project.
It was a blessing. It took a lot of work behind the scenes. So to hear you say that, Dennis, that it seems seamless is great to us. I mean, we stayed up a lot of nights preparing, prepping, and helping it to run smoothly like that. So to hear, it from your perspective in regards to it, that's great. We were, exhausted between the writings and wearing all the different hats, but we had a lot of fun. It was a fantastic cast. And that's the thing too. You surround yourself with people who know what they're doing, and it all plays in. Like, we've seen it as Vision of Harmony, as singers. We've been in productions where we are in concert and we see the stage person and they're saying, okay, stage left, lighting, camera, and all those things. And so we absorbed and we listened without even realizing we were absorbing and listening. And so when it was time for us to do this, we were able to draw from all those experiences and all those things that we had. And we know what we liked and what worked. We knew that we wanted to treat people, as human beings, and that was very important to us. And we knew
know their crafts too.
I agree with that, because you're coming in there cold. You're coming in underneath first impressions. Most of the people you work with have much more experience than you coming in. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure you're not coming in as, I'm the queen, when in fact you're just a student.
We believe in treating people with dignity and respect.
We were very humble and grateful and just gracious that everybody was able to come and do this.
Were you surprised to see how much music and film and TV, were you surprised to see how similar they were?
That's a really good question.
It is. And in some aspects, definitely, absolutely, definitely. For us, we would do, like Angela was saying, we would come into, we have to sing, we know we have to sing, we need to bring our tracks or who we're singing with, make sure the microphones are working, everything is working. And then once we get there, the microphones are working, we're going to take it from there. Let's go. This was a bigger,
we looked at it like we knew we knew the parts that had to be, but it was putting them all in the order that they needed to be. And we knew what it was like when we would watch TV shows that we didn't like, that had that rushed ending. We did not want something that was like, okay, you take all this time into putting it together and then sum it up in the end, because we got to sum it up. We wanted a great flow. So we started with that. We went to the end and worked our way forward. And so, that way we were able to capture it. We were, I think, if anything, really surprised at and happy at the way that it all came together. The key to it, I mean, when we held auditions, we knew exactly what we wanted our dad to be like and act like, and we wanted the camaraderie and all that. And so even though we had different people that were auditioning for the dad's role, we knew, right away from looking at it,
say,
no, that's not
going to be
dad. Then, we looked at another one and was like, that's not dad. And then there were some that were like, okay, but it's like, we have that chemistry. And then when Dennis came on the screen and when he first opened, girls, I didn't know you were coming, type of a deal. And it was like, oh my God, it felt like we wanted to go, Daddy, home, type of a thing.
And we were able to go check.
We got
we
that
have our
vibe.
father.
And so it was wonderful that everyone put together, the heights and the camaraderie, it worked.
Now, I have one other question, because I do think I know the answer to this, but I'll let you tell it because maybe I'm wrong. But did you, you had to create a budget for this, and I'm assuming that you took all your money that you earned as singers, and that's what you used for a budget, wasn't it?
Partly. I think
yes.
We
definitely had a couple of, I guess, backers per se in regards to it, but
Helping
yes,
us,
the bulk of this was definitely self-funded.
Yeah. It was crowdfunded or you funded?
No, self-funded.
Self-funded. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So we believed in it that much that it's like, okay, we're going to invest. This is an investment for us, and it's something that we truly believe in. So. And we still do, and we will continue, to believe in. And we feel, like one of these days it's just gonna
pop and burst right open.
It's gonna burst right through that glass ceiling.
I agree with you. I think you're in a position now where it'll pop sooner than you think, because seems like every new show or every season there becomes less and less taboo or removed, like having I was thinking about the show Kenan. Kenan is a show with Kenan. He married a white lady, he had family, and then she passed away, and you see Don Johnson's playing his father-in-law, and it's just something that you just never really see. You never see an interracial couple, not really. If you think about all the shows that are coming on here, you don't see that very often. And for you guys to do that show and base it in the deep South, because Florida is still the South, that takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of like willing to take risks, willing to be a pathfinder, a pathfinder.
Like a trend, setting that trend.
Yeah, and perfectly said, Patrick. Too. That's one of the things that we combine with our singing, because as vision of harmony, that is what that is. We see this vision of harmony. So not color per se. There's color, but we want to combine. Exactly. We want to combine those races through the vision of harmony. And so we wanted to do that. We wanted to make sure that we incorporated, different races in the show, because we want everyone to be represented, and everything. So we definitely wanted to make sure.
It is. And with our Christian faith, we know that, Jesus is all of our dad. And so we are all one. And so for us, that's what we did not want to make any of our episodes, so much like on race. This is something that people look at. And even if they look at it and they go, oh, okay, so they're mixed, their dad's white, their mom's black, type of a deal. But we're not, it's not like a something that's being held over. It's just showing that it's a family that goes through true trials and tribulations.
And of the way of the world is now.
Yeah.
Truly.
And not just like, okay, let's build it on.
Well, I think it's the right thing to do. You're right. It shouldn't be about that. Really, it shouldn't be. But we all know that it is, because
it's
that's
there.
the way this country. Wow, yeah, it's the way this country is. But I agree. I mean, you want to see everything as colorblind. As far as I'm concerned, when I'm watching the show, the only thing I want to see funny. I want to see some laughs. And you guys are really cute. You guys, the first two shows I saw. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It was just so like, all right, these guys are in a world of trouble here, because your characters are just so like, you guys are sort of crazy. How much of your personalities in each character?
There's a lot of characteristics
Dennis is like, there's a lot. People who know us would probably be like, oh yeah, I see their characteristics. We took it and stretched some things. You know,
yeah, some things
are
way
little
over the top
out there. It gives you an opportunity to be somebody different from yourself, but at the same time very similar, you know, to ourselves as well. And we have a lot of fun with Bobby and Charlie.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, they cause a little bit of mayhem, but they're always nice.
They're always nice,
right, Dad?
Yeah,
just tell us. Tell us what you really.
Yeah, tell us what you really think, Dad.
just be nice.
We're always nice.
I was telling Patrick earlier, what really attracted me to this and to you is truly, you know, challenging the status quo, tackling issues that are there day to day that, you know, people don't touch.
Yeah.
You know? Now, Patrick hasn't seen episode 8.
Oh, Patrick
has.
You've got to look at episode 8, Patrick.
Yes,
Patrick hasn't seen the last episode.
Really?
I have to catch up. Oh, if you guys only knew. If you guys knew how much stuff I have to watch every week, you guys would be pulling out your hair.
So maybe he'll have us back on just to analyze episode 8.
Yeah, we get people that are like, I can't believe that's how it is.
Yes.
When is season 2?
Next?
What happens? Yeah. All that. We get
but you know what? We can't discuss it because Patrick hasn't seen it. So
no,
I
we certainly can't. We don't want to spoil it either,
and we don't want your listeners to hear all of that either, especially.
We can't. We can't even give a cliffhanger. We can't even give a clue because that's
Patrick, you have homework to do this evening.
Jamie is commenting and she's saying, break those ceiling, ladies. And I agree. That's really what this show is for me. When I watched it.
Thank you, Jamie.
When I watched the show, that's really what I saw more than anything else. I mean, you know, besides the comedy, I saw the ceiling break. You know, I was thinking this is really cool because you don't see that. I'm actually in my head. I was sitting there watching and we're like, how many shows have I seen like this? And you know, and honestly, none. I can't think of anything.
Yeah,
I can see the reverse, but even then, I don't see that. You know, like I think I don't. You know, it's just I'm trying really hard to wrap my brain. And I think the first interracial couple I ever saw on TV was in the Jeffersons. You guys are way too young for that. But Dennis knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
We know the Jeffersons. Who doesn't know the Jeffersons?
Dynamite.
But I mean, that's pretty much it. And I'm thinking really hard about that, and we're like, that's really what it is. It's different, but you guys are real fun. How much are you in your characters? I don't really see too much of you.
I know how much,
but I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, our character, I'd say probably 50. I was gonna say 50. I don't know. You know, I think it depends on who you ask. Yeah. Because you know how,
and
like,
if you
the way we review, what time of day it is. If we for us to answer that question, because some episodes I would give it like Val said, like the 30%, and some episodes are
like at one point, you know, we talked about bubblegum and candy, which is back in the day. So not spoiler alert, but there's a little bit of bubblegum and candy in the show. So we were trying to, like, you know, put those things in there too that are dear to our heart that would still bring back these memories for people, for all the things that we knew us at that time. Our
fan base, our follower base is very, you know, there's people that remember us as bubblegum and candy, and there's people that remember us as Vision of Harmony. And then depending on where we are, you know, they're like, oh my God, you guys, are you local celebrities? Or Angela Valencia, people, you know, recognize us from these.
Do you remember the first time that someone recognized you when you were out just shopping around? And, you know,
bubblegum and candy?
Bubblegum and candy, definitely. Yes. And we went to a skating rink once.
Oh gosh,
yeah, that was a little scary. So and we got out of the car and went on inside, and we're hanging out, and we're just skating with our friends and everything. Next thing you know, our song comes on, and as it's coming on, people are like, and it started coming, and they were like, whoop, and they spotted us and just
they started.
Yeah, that was
like drop to the floor.
Yeah, they had to get us kind of out of there. That was a little scary.
It was
wow.
first time we realized, okay,
That we can't just walk
go
into the
to certain places.
right,
You know?
exactly.
We would get recognized even as visual department, gas stations, at restaurants, in the car as we're driving.
Yeah, that was neat.
And things, and it's really cool. And then people will say, you know, they have our autograph from Bubblegum and Candy, or they have our autograph from Vision of Harmony. Can you sign this poster for Bobby and Charlie? Like when we did the parade, oh my gosh, we were in that parade, and
Martin
it was
Luther King
incredible.
parade. It was awesome
Because we got to see, you know, a lot of that. Or people would say, you know what, I've read about you all, I've seen you on television. It is so nice to meet you in person. And we're like, and it's great to meet you too.
Yeah.
You know,
and I'm watching the show, and I'm going to continue it. And you know, you guys, or I watched the whole show. It was amazing.
They have their favorite people. Really, they have the ones that they don't like so much, not like, because of the acting, but just the character that they play.
That they portray the actor. They do such a great job that it's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I like this person.
Yeah, Dennis is seen as the world's best dad. You know, they feel that he's just like in love and blind.
Yeah, so like,
doesn't
he know? Doesn't he know?
They'll tell us things about her. You know, oh, you know, with Rob, you know, she's trying to do something. So like we don't know. You know, we go, really? Yeah. You know, she's just trying to get him for his money and stuff. And it's like it's cute to like see the responses and see that people think that, you know, sometimes they're really telling us information that we don't have it yet. Yeah, and stuff. Yeah, trying to fill us in, and it's cute. We're just like, really? Oh, she really do that.
No, I mentioned about how much of your characters are you. How much of the scenarios in the series did you draw upon anything in your past and put it in the series? Is anything?
No, not situations. Say it again.
Say that last part again.
That was all just your creative ideas.
Yes. We didn't put any of our personal
lives,
like that experience of those things happening. Now.
We would name things like, you know, our history name or what have you, and of course, like Val mentioned, Bubblegum and Candy, Vision of Harmony, as far as singing, but like as far as the situations and things, no, we didn't draw from anything. That was our imagination.
Yeah, creative minds thinking.
So walk us through that the creativity of Daddy, We're Back. I mean, here you go. You got the idea. You wrote the book. You know, now, did you hire a casting director? Did you get any advisors that that showed you where to get filming locations, scouting locations? I mean, what was the process like for the both of you? Did you divide the workload in half? Did you divide the workload in half, or did you guys do it all together?
We did it all together. We did it together. So we would always talk everything through. And if we were like, okay, now we know, and without telling scenes, we know we need to do a scene here at a restaurant or whatever, you know, and then we would make those calls and reach them out and tell them what we're doing, and they'd be excited to be a part of it. And okay, awesome. But we, you know, honorable mention and when the script is written, things like that. So we really had to kind of pull through, and you know, some things were, you know, maybe a shutdown. We can't use this because you can't use it on this particular day,
and with COVID being out there, COVID,
right? So that was a little difficult.
But we pulled on a lot of things that we, you know, people that we knew from our Bubblegum and Candy days and from Vision of Harmony. You know, we used a lot of our connections, you know, to do this, and they knew what our walk was like. They knew our work ethics,
our vision on this,
our vision, and so they were, you know, super excited to be a part of it. So that helped a lot. And when we came up with the synopsis in regards to Daddy, We're Back, we wanted something that was going to be comical, funny. You know, we're like,
oh, drama,
things like, you know, we talked about the part about like Val hurting her finger, you know, is one of our key aspects. So when we would tell people about the part, we're like, okay, so imagine this, you know,
right. And we would
his girlfriend,
we would be laughing as we're talking,
telling
each
it
other.
to them,
and we're like, oh yeah, and then we're gonna do this.
And then imagine the dad's there, and then all of a sudden Val cuts her finger, and she's like, I cut my finger with a knife. It calls him to cancel his trip, you know, and things. And so we would talk about that, and then we would write around it, you know, and then it's time for another scene or another episode, and it would be, you know,
think of something else wonderful, and then kind of write around that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's cool.
I sort of, you know what? I'm sitting here and I'm watching this, and I sort of want to call them Zane and from the Wonder Twins. You know, the Wonder Twins, Zane and Zena. It's so cool. I'm just listening to you guys go. It's like it's fun as hell. It's so unique.
Thank you.
So when you now. When you sat down and you decided to go into casting, like I said before, did you hire a casting director? Did you draw upon anybody at all within because you made this in Florida, right?
Right.
in Tampa.
Now, is there a decent film community in Tampa? Was there anybody that could draw upon?
Dennis, you want to answer that question? Because it certainly
Sure.
is growing here for sure.
You know, Patrick, being down here from New York, New Jersey, I'm down here about 6-7 years now. There is a big community, a big indie community, and even from the bigger productions, there's a lot of focus on Florida, and there's a lot going on in the Tampa, St. Pete area, Orlando, Miami area. So, but from the indie perspective alone, there's a ton of talent. There's a ton of talent. There isn't a week that goes by, and thank God, the girls know me. You see, I'm busy. I've got
You stay busy, Dennis.
busy.
It's awesome.
a lot of
You
stuff
do.
going on, and I see the same people. Now, I'm blessed. I can go all over, but there is such a diverse talent down here to pull from. And if you look at the girls, as far as I know, did the casting on your own. Mom and dad were involved, and other advisors, but it's so diverse, and the people we pulled in from the mailman, rest in peace, Pete. Thank you. I was going to say John, Pete, to Uncle John, to me for that matter, to get Phoenix. I forget her first name.
Robin.
Thank you.
Robin.
I said that.
Robin Fletcher.
From Georgia, South Carolina, Georgia, right?
Yeah.
So,
South Carolina.
so there is such a pool of talent. My
That's
cat's
out there.
wrecking the house. My cats. There's
Yeah, we don't
hear it.
And it's so exciting to see how everyone is growing together.
And you're right. And you see that. You'll see,
You do.
different people. And for us, we went through the majority of our cast, we self-picked. We put it out there. Hey, we're holding auditions. We reached out. We put things on different postings and things and got a lot of people. Also, CVF Productions. We work with CVF. And we did one of their commercials. They were filming a commercial with Debbie and Mark, and we did a commercial for them over in St. Pete. So we knew that, okay, they have casting people. So we asked them, hey, do you have anyone? And then they would send a couple people our way, and we would audition them. So it just gave us a nice pool of people to select from. Plus just with, word of mouth. I mean, it got out there and people were reaching out. So no, we didn't have to go through as far as like a casting director or what have you. And then in regards to the production, as far as filming, we had worked with Marty and Chris, just with the International Christian Film Festival. So that gave us an opportunity to kind of see the work that they did and with what we were wanting to do. So we had meetings with them, initially.
We talked to them at the beginning. We actually went there the first time to talk with them and to just brainstorm and just tell them what our vision was. This is what we want to do. And it's funny that we talk about that because I think in the beginning they were like, they were like, and what? We're going to do what? And what's going to happen? And we were laughing and saying,
like, isn't it funny?
Doesn't it sound great?
And they're like,
no. They didn't see the vision. And so it became.
Yes, when they realized these ladies are really serious about
and
this.
they're like, this
and then we held
really
another meeting.
Yeah.
Did anybody try to talk you out of doing a TV series? Did they try to point you to into doing maybe a short film first, then maybe do a series?
No,
I think they knew that we were determined by the way that we approached it.
Yes,
our minds were made up.
We knew that we didn't want that to end.
Yeah.
We didn't want it to just be one short story.
And
had to tell that story.
Do it, and that's fantastic. We wanted to just
okay, so now you're at a table read. Did you do a table read with your initial cast?
We did
through Zoom.
All
of our table reads
because
were
of COVID, it was all
COVID. We would try to have as exposure as possible.
Was it a perfect set? Was it a perfect, or did you find yourself having to replace anybody?
We did not have to replace anybody.
We didn't have to do it.
Here we go.
We didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
We have more seasoned actors, and then we have some that were like us, new
just starting
at it,
off, right?
but it worked. That quirkiness kind of worked for what we were trying to accomplish.
And when we would do the read, if we wanted it to be a certain
Read it
way,
with more gusto.
maybe you needed to. This was supposed to be a little bit of funny and a little bit of this, that, and the other. Once that table read was over, we would contact those
That
actors,
person.
and we would talk to that person directly
Mhm.
and go through it and say, "Good job tonight." But we
However.
want to, however, we wanted to, this particular scene is supposed to be like this
More
and that,
emotional,
and
or
then
this
let's
scene
do it
should be-
again. With
Yeah,
just
practice
us
it
on
with
here,
us.
let's practice it together, and then
Mhm.
you got it. That's exactly what we were
We
wanting
would
to
hold
heir.
private
So
one. So Dennis,
just-
you never,
you never
got a
got
chance to
that
do that
call.
because you
were already
knew your stuff.
professional. You knew your stuff.
So you got it. Dennis would be like, and we're acting, and it's an emotional part, and it's time to cry and cry or what have you, or if it's just emotional, Dennis would bring it out in the Zoom. So it's like
Yes, we're like,
didn't have
oh,
to
this
say,
is gonna be
Dennis,
hard.
this is a really emotional part. We
Right.
expect emotions or whatever. He
It was
just
already
automatically
there.
bring it. So
Right.
Let me swing the next couple of questions to Dennis.
Okay.
What did you think of this, Dennis? I mean, here you are, like you said, you're from New York, New Jersey, and you're experienced, and then you come down and you walk inside a table read with two absolute rookies in the film industry. As a performer, what were you thinking? Were you thinking that were you thinking like, okay, since I'm here, I'm going for it, or did you have any skepticism? Like, were you wary of it?
I was,
be honest.
yeah, and I've said this openly to the girls, and we discussed this really at length, and I had a little internal kind of struggle with it, because and I've been very open and honest from day one. It's the antithesis of what I do. If you look at my reel and stuff like that, so here it's controversial, which I go for. It's a broken character, which I'm all about. I'm able to get raw, which is I'm all about. But now I'm kind of daddy. I'm like la 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 daddy. You didn't see episode 8, so you don't know how it all ties together. Not that I'm busting your chops about it, but Richard Freeman is an onion.
Lots of layers.
Lots of layers.
Mhm.
Right.
So the girls who give me scripts piecemeal, and I'm trying because when I get a script, a feature or whatever, I read it all the way through, because even if I've got a bit role, I want to see how I connect all the way through. So now you have a lead, and you're like, all right, this guy's not all bubble gum and candy. Just to corner. There's something going on. There's something going on. What's up with this guy? He's not just his head's not in the clouds. He built a very successful real estate business. Well, you don't get successful by being, la la la, in certain industries. So I do a lot of character development, and I need to know where every part fits. And when I first got it, when I did the audition actually at the residence here, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this guy's over the top. He's over the top. There's a little fakeness to it per se. There's too much gushing. What's going on? What's it all about? And when you get to episode 8,
The
onion, a lot of the onion.
Yes.
You see where the girls are saying "Daddy of the Year." Well, I'm fallible. I'm a human being. I'm blessed. I'm saved.
Dad.
But each episode, like I don't believe a table read should not be the first time a professional actor reads the script. A table read is your rehearsal, period.
Right.
Period. Bring it. Right. And that's what I do. And that's,
you did.
It would be like, even the first time we were all together, 5, 6, 7 of us on a Zoom call, I go there because from my perspective, I want the director to see how big I go, because the director can always pull me back. And that's what it's all about. So
it's hard. I mean, because again, you got to consider, you got two relatively new people, and here they go. It's like, how do they know when you're going big or when you're not going big enough? I mean, there's nothing to draw back upon, as far as for you, as for the twins go, Yolanda and Angela, there's nothing for you to draw back on because you never done this before.
But
and I think for us, that's one of the reasons we would give it in pieces, because we knew what that end result was
already
going to be.
knew
And we
that,
wanted
right.
each of the characters to be authentic and be in their truth. So if everyone
Sure.
knew in the end, if they all knew
What
what
the secret
episode
was of
8
what
was
it
going to
gonna
be, then it's even though, with acting and all that chemistry that we all got together
Mhm.
would be a little different, because it's like, oh yeah, okay, I know why
I know
person's
why they're
doing
doing
this. Okay,
this,
they're doing
right.
it because, and then you start to build those things into the character. And we wanted it to feel raw and
Mhm.
natural, and
Yeah.
everybody to believe in their own truth for what they physically could see, scene
Mhm.
by scene by
Mhm.
scene.
And I remember too,
Knowing
that
that the
Dennis would
18
actually ask us, we'd have that conversation.
Mhm.
Are y'all getting ready to kill me off? Are you guys getting ready to do this? What's happening next? And
Yeah.
we're like,
We're
It's a
like,
comedy.
Daddy,
let's
we're back.
see. Yeah, it's called Daddy, we're back, first of all.
Yeah.
But things like that, so that was a good point, just the
Mhm.
whole thing. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. We didn't want to say, here's the entire script, go for it, know it. This is it.
Yep.
It was
Everyone
like the
did
element
it.
of surprise was a
Sure,
And
I agree with that. I don't think you should. I don't agree. I mean, I agree with you about not giving it all out, because once you get it all out, you get a little familiar with it, and you might relax into your role and not give out. If you
Yes.
don't know what's coming up,
no idea what's
you
happening.
you got to be on your toes for it.
Stay
So
sharp each
I
time.
get that. Now, how about this? Now, since you two wrote the whole series,
Mhm.
how much leeway did they give you, Dennis, as far as like the improv, or were they pretty strict about acting the script?
You mean
They-
the other
they-
actors?
Yeah.
Did it.
Well,
Oh,
they
Dennis.
weren't strict per se, but it's like anything else, Patrick. You've got to earn respect. You've got to earn it.
Mhm.
Every day when you're on set, you've got to come prepared. You've got to come with your decisions as to how you're going to deliver it. And that's why, I always made sure we had phone calls one-on-one, or, the
Mhm.
girls and I
Mhm.
breaking down. First off, I do a post-mortem, bad term, but after every shoot, kind of go over it. What did you like? What did you didn't like? What did you not like? How can
Mhm.
we improve? So we
Mhm.
always had those calls. And then when the new scripts came out, we had those calls also. And
Mhm.
just being on the same page. Hey, this is what I'm thinking about this scene, this, and this.
Mhm.
What do you think? So
Right.
by the time we got on set, which is always, it's chaotic. It is what it is, right? You've got so
Yep.
many moving parts.
Yep.
I can't attest for what anybody else did, because I'm I'm just an actor here. I made sure I brought my A game. And
Mhm.
the job of a professional, regardless if you have page 1 or page 120, you
Mhm.
bring it.
Yeah.
You bring it. Regardless of, there is no slacking off. There is no, doing a half job. As a
No.
professional, you bring it time and time again. Um,
Mhm.
that's how I hold myself to a higher standard. I know the girls do the same. It's
Mhm.
communication, and we've built our relationship, our affinity towards each other, through hard
Mhm.
work and mutual respect.
Oh,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't think I'm trying to remember, girls, if there was one time where you said, "Hey, Den, I want it done this way instead of that way." I really don't believe we did collaborate and share ideas.
Mhm.
Um,
I think it might have been just maybe like something about maybe the emotion or something with a show. If it's like, okay, we're not going to cry on this one. This one's not going to be as emotional as that. Not in a bad way, but just
Yeah.
not yet. It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
It's not on
we
his
knew the
part.
whole
We knew that,
picture.
right? We
We
knew
knew that
it was coming.
That end result was going to be.
boy, is
Yes.
it coming? Yep.
Yes, it was definitely coming, and we have those
So-
conversations
With the other
actors as
cast.
well.
Did you feel that when you wrote this, because you have 8 episodes, the first 2 episodes were played pretty broadly. I mean, you watch the characters and their actions. It's pretty broad. It's almost, I dare say it's almost slapstick in some sense. When did you decide to change the tone of it and go a little bit more of like a dramedy? Because I'm getting from what you're telling me about episode 8, you went dramedy. And
We
that's a good
always
thing.
knew it was going to be a drama. Like we
I-
always.
I personally love dramedies. I love them more than straight out comedies. Like
Yeah.
my favorite, like MASH or Scrubs or Wonder Years or something like that. There's always, boy meets girl, boy meets world. You can have fun, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's okay to mix in some
Some
serious.
seriousness. Yeah.
We wanted to
And-
make
That
sure we had
underlying
that
comedy.
Yeah,
to
and that real
balance.
lifeness, and because we definitely put comedy in there, real And most have drama in their lives. It's not just smooth sailing. There's always something going on, something's happened or whatever.
Characters would develop. So yes, it's one way. And then because even though we wrote it all, sometimes we would make tweaks as the writers. We would make tweaks that would fit the actors better. Like as we learned their characteristics and what worked best for them, we would tweak little things in it. So as long as for us, like we knew what the overall was going to be, we knew what every single episode was going to entail, and we might tweak a couple of lines or do something a little bit differently so that it could show that actor's strengths and show the range of the actor. And so that's when more of that dramedy started coming in, because we wanted it to be a something that just continued, something that built. We wanted it to build and build it so that the end was exactly the way that it was for the end, and that people would watch that journey. So yes, Patrick, you definitely need to watch 8.
When did you two ladies, when did you hit the stride? When did you know that you got? I mean, I know you're confident going in, but you weren't overconfident. You were like, I feel like I know you could do this, but I want to, when did you know that you actually were going to do this and you felt absolutely confident in yourself in going forward? And Dennis, to you, I'll ask you this. When, as an actor, when did you get your full confidence in Yolanda, Angela, as far as
Valencia.
Angela.
Valencia.
Oh, sorry.
So, you have to trust your fellow actor. There's a certain amount, there's a level of trust because you're vulnerable, and for me to go there, I was able to build a certain level of trust right up front, or a level, it's more or less a level of comfortability in myself, because trust comes in time. We all believe that's life, right? But it's a matter of, if I'm giving you certain energy from an acting perspective, how are you coming back? And that is a mutual trust perspective that you need to build on. And I got to tell you, for the girls being the first time out, they brought that, and they were able to not only feed off what I brought, but they were able to bring it themselves to help me get to where I need to be. A lot of the scenes in the scripts were written pretty tailored, if you would, to me, and the trust was built rather instantaneously, which is rare to have that type of synergy right off the cuff. It's really rare. I mean, I can honestly tell you maybe a handful of times just off the cuff, either in a feature or short, wherever, where you just had it. But now the girls brought not only a level of professionalism, but just an innate talent that, whatever their nuances being new per se, they just brought it. And it just, it allowed me to take it to where I had to go. And we just grew with each other. I hope I'm not rambling. I hope that you can piece that.
No, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I think too, for us, perfect, Dennis. What you said was just 100% right on
the mark.
And then for us, I know, Patrick, you were asking us, when do we know? When do we know? I think after every episode, after every single episode, we grew. We knew, oh, we did this. Yeah. This was a team. We did this, and we have this many more. We still have 4 more, and we learned from each episode. So we would learn as we kept going, things that we didn't, maybe we should have changed out a little bit, or maybe our now let's tweak, like we were talking about tweaking some things before. And maybe it's a little too lengthy what we're saying. We know that it has to be 22 minutes. It can't be, any more than that. So we had to shorten some things, so at every episode we began to just grow and learn from each one.
Yeah.
So after you when you made the series, you aired it on. Did you air it on YouTube first, right?
No, we did not, because with YouTube we didn't want to give that out, in regards to it. We'd all worked so hard on this, and we really wanted it to be picked up. So it ended up being picked up first by Glued TV, and then ETV, and then ETV has a YouTube channel. So it's not even just freely out there on YouTube. It's actually on YouTube through ETV. ETV.
What is ETV? Is that
Entourage. What is it?
What's ETV?
That's what's the
Isn't
acronym
it?
for
Isn't
that?
it? Hold on. I know it's a good one.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me
ETV
think.
is entertainment, not entertainment television. It's something
was
similar to that.
Is it based? Is it
Good
based here in the
question.
States?
Say it one more time.
Is it based
Dennis
here
is
in
like cracking up at us.
Is it based
Is
here
it-
in the U.S.?
I don't know exactly where it's based.
Uh-oh.
Hang
No,
on.
it's okay.
We are going to tell you in just a moment
And
because we are
What is the
resourceful.
word? I know the word. It means you are.
Dennis, how did you like working? How did you like working opposite? How did you like working opposite of the girls?
I enjoyed it. I have a son and daughter myself. My son is 22. My daughter's 16. And though we the girls and I went through certain situations, so far so good in my personal life. We haven't hit those situations, but I enjoyed it. I had fun, and the deeper we got into it, the more fun we had. And even with a lot of the emotional scenes,
Encourage. It is
That's
encourage.
it.
encourage TV.
Encourage.
Yeah,
TV.
that's it.
There's
a-
That's
like
what
something.
it's like.
there's some sort of feedback or something going on. Who's echoing?
We were able to really enjoy each other, Patrick, and just really build that friendship.
Okay.
You know, again, that the girls were joking about, okay, what's up with episode 4? Are you killing me off? You don't like Daddy anymore? Is it going to be Mommy? Daddy's gone? What's in?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Season 2. You know,
mommy,
Mary,
Pop
what's
is
going on?
Mommy, where's Daddy?
Yeah.
Mommy, what happened to
Mommy-
Daddy? So it was just we just had so much fun. We just
Yeah.
we built a friendship that lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of every day push the ball forward. I always say you can control your activity and your mindset, and we have something really special here. And I'm so looking forward to season 2.
We are too.
Because we know how it ends.
Yes, it's so much more.
We know how it begins.
It's so much more. So,
It is,
yes,
and
be
then
awesome.
and we've got like what is it with we're with BMG. So BMG
That's the
Productions is
distribution.
the distribution company. So they're pushing it out, to other areas. But we're also having a lot of fun just doing the promotion
Yeah, that's been
piece
really
to it because
awesome.
it's growing organically. So it's like one of those things that when it happens, like Jamie, that class ceiling, when it happens,
Yes.
it will, it's going to be organic, and people that are growing in this
They're
with
growing
us,
it with us.
yeah,
they're in it
will be
with
more
us, so.
vested into it as well. So, yeah. See,
Have you had any interest from any other investors that want to come in, or production companies that want to come in to help you do the second season?
we've had a couple of people that have reached out,
Conversations,
and
but-
we've had conversations.
Okay.
That's all I can say right now.
And now this is gonna be the fun part. I mean, how did you sell to the first 2 companies you mentioned? They came to you? Did they approach you and say, yeah, we'd like to go ahead and like buy your show and show it for a year and give you this much money?
Just allowing us to use that platform to have it out, but not necessarily a financial thing. Like we said before, we were backing this thing between us and our parents, our mom, things like that. So that hasn't happened yet. So from your lips to God's ears, that will be the next, blessing that we all get to enjoy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what's going on for as far as YouTube though? Are you guys going to go ahead and while this is going on, are you going to go ahead and like I know Dennis is already working on various other projects. Are you going to go ahead and try to get some more acting underneath your belt, some more experience underneath your belt?
We have a couple of projects that we're working on, and they will help to open the door for Daddy, We're Back.
Right. Because like we said, we always talk about Daddy, We're Back on any platform that we're doing. And so we're still continuing to grow and to do things.
So yes, to
on the
answer
back
that
end,
question, we're definitely looking
absolutely.
at acting.
Yes.
So you guys going to be doing some different projects and while pushing Daddy.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, because I would think that you would want to get in front of the camera and maybe go on a set with a
Very
different
often.
actor. Yeah. Now it's gonna be hard though. It's gonna be, you're gonna have to sit there. You can bring your notebooks with you, and you can sit there and do your role, and then turn around and ask the director and the editor and the lighting and the DP. So how do you do that? How do you do that?
You know what you really should do is you might want to do this.
To,
yeah,
get
like
ahead.
it's hard because when we watch movies, just like everybody else, you watch movies and you kind of, after doing Daddy for That, we critique them even more. We'll look at things and go, "Ooh, the pacing of that movie would have been so much better if they had paced it just right."
Or look at the ending.
Watch a movie and the ending,
and that's
it ends like they'll wait, and then like the last 3 minutes,
you
now they've got to summarize everything in the movie, and it looks like it. They'll just go, "Oh, the dad's in the hospital. This one's on this one, that," and then it ends.
That's it.
And so we
wanted to have more of a clean kind of a cut on that, and still leaving the element of surprise at the same time.
So we would never step on the director's toes. Never. What we feel. We do our homework.
We know how to take direction really well too.
Yeah, we do.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do next in terms of? I mean, obviously you're going to do the sitcom, but what do you want to do next in terms of not only acting, but if you had a chance to direct a film, what kind of genre would you like to try your hand in?
Comedy again, because we absolutely love doing that, and drama. I think we'd love to even be on
and suspense. Something that's suspense type things we would love to do, and we would love to do a movie. Like with Daddy We're Back. I mean, people have asked us about turning Daddy We're Back into a movie. Yeah. Because if you take all the parts and put them together and do, certain things, the length of time, we have to edit out because it altogether it's like a little over 3 hours. And so to make it a movie, just
don't forget the main point.
Yeah, get the points in there, but not that rushing feeling. So
probably. I don't know if you could actually do a movie out of an 8-part series, because I think you'd be leaving a lot of the good parts on the floor. To fit into that.
In order to make a movie, it would have to be like a 2-hour movie or 2.5 hour, and it would have to be something.
And we learned from that, Patrick, because even with this show, we had to cut so many things out. There was so much more that was done between Dennis and us and this one and that one. There were so many scenes that we had to go, we can't use that. Nope, we can't use that.
We had to edit it and cut it and make it
smaller,
shorter.
So we were able to learn from those.
Yeah.
Now, what did you feel about? I mean, what part of the process were you surprised at the most? I mean, how it worked. Like, editing's a beast.
It is.
It's a real beast. You take a run at it. Your editor takes a run at it. I mean, like you said, you only got 22 minutes for a TV movie. You got 84 to 86 minutes.
Right. Yeah, it would be very painful. It would be a painful process.
Yes, you'd have to say we have to keep this scene,
and we'd have to look. And the thing is to look at it, because a lot of times, like, there's scenes even that we had to cut. The scenes were really good,
right?
But it was like, okay, you look at it. Is this important to know what's actually happening in the story?
Does it make sense?
Cushy. It's great extra stuff that's good, and if you've got the time, sure, it's wonderful to put it in there. But can you understand the story without it?
Yeah, and certain scenes could not be deleted. You can't take that away, because if you took that away, you're going to not understand what happened down here.
Yeah. So for us, it was like not only writing and directing and producing all of that, it was when it was time for those edits, because we'd have the final say in regards to edits and cut. So we cut a lot of our stuff too.
We did.
So it was like we'd have to look at it and put that other hat on and go, okay, now this is editing. We got
but that's so funny. That's such a good one. We have to keep that one. No, we never.
It's important to telling the story.
Right.
It's going to be one of
one thing I noticed too that you guys didn't do either, which and high praise for you to that, is you didn't put a laugh track in.
No,
thank you. And we did not want to do a laugh track.
That was a conversation that we had in the beginning. We were like, do we want to do it?
And we've had a couple people in the cast that have referenced, maybe we should do a laugh track or what have you. But we didn't want to lose that authenticity of it as well. I think a lot of times when you're listening to laugh tracks, it just kind of flows and you go, that kind of thing. And it lets people know when to laugh. But with this, people just kind of laugh if it's funny.
Right.
If they find something funny.
We don't think there's anything wrong with laugh tracks. There's wrong, not at all.
I mean, if it's strictly something like Full House, or something like that, or How I Met Your Mother. Well, maybe not that. Maybe like
It's
2.5
because of the
million or something
drama.
like that.
This show has a lot of
That's
drama.
fine. I think anytime that you have a drama, like one of the things I really hated for it, I really hated it for MASH. This MASH had a laugh track, and I really hated it for that show because it's not a laugh track show.
Right.
Scrubs didn't have a laugh track, which I appreciate. You know, a lot of shows, you know, some shows did, and they had serious moments too, and you know, it felt, you know, a lot
The
of them were
music would
live.
change during those.
They were filmed live in front of an audience, and so you didn't have to, you know, they laughed and oohed and awed at the appropriate times, you know. But I thought a laugh track is like sort of like telling you, oh, this is funny because you can't figure it out for yourself. You know? So we're gonna do it for you. We're gonna tell you what is funny. So that's what I always thought a laugh track did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
And it's
we were
true. We
our
agree
own
with the
supporters,
drama.
and we were our own supporters because we all watched the scenes as they go along. And
Exactly.
then it was like, woo, high five, that was great. That was good. You know,
That was funny.
so.
That was serious. And then the music would change. We'd have, you know, the music added so that it would give it that extra dramatic effect.
Now, when did for season 1 end? I mean, when was the end of the season for you? You said you know, how long ago has it been since you wrapped on season 1?
End of last year.
Yeah.
End of 2020, 2021.
2021.
Wait, we're in 2022 now. So it actually was closer.
2020.
Maybe wasn't it 2020? Yeah. So it's
The
actually been a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been about a year since we've actually finished it.
Now, do you have a time clock on how long you will go before you start it up again? I mean, you know, you might, or are you going to try to be patient and wait to see if it gets picked up somewhere?
We're going to be patient
and
for
wait
sure.
and see what happens as it
But
gets
we're
picked up.
excited about it. We absolutely want to do this. We have already written season 2. We know exactly what's going to happen from where it ended on episode 8 to what is about to happen right now. It's something really great.
Yeah, I might have to cheat and go just watch episode 8 as soon as I'm done here.
Where are you, Patrick? What
episode
have
are you
you
on?
seen so far?
Episode 3.
That's the only one you've seen?
I look at some shows when I do it. I was a talent buyer, so my thing is like it's sort of like you can understand this. When you submitted the demo reel right to a label, what's the rule? You put your 3 best songs on first,
right?
Of course.
because they're not going to have time to listen to the whole thing.
To go through the whole thing.
That's how I am. That's how it's like. When I get a TV show, when someone tells me about, I watch the first 3 episodes because I'm really busy. So I don't have time to necessarily watch the whole thing, and I have to, priority. But I will watch this. I mean, I am watching it. It's just like, God, if you knew what I was watching right now for my channel, you guys would be throwing rocks at me. So, Dennis, what's going on with you? What are you going to be working on next while you're in hiatus, waiting for season 2?
You know, I'm not really. I've never been in a hiatus per se.
Yeah.
I've got a movie starting next week. Just Hitched. I just finished a Christian movie called Chances. I've got a national commercial I'm doing tomorrow. I've been crushing it, man. It's just
awesome.
There's a lot of I did. We were talking earlier, Patrick. I did a Facebook Live. I'm 130% to my goal of January. 130%.
Awesome.
We're all business people here. I know the girls have a business background, business acumen. You got to. It's a business. You got to track it as such. And we're just crushing it, man. It's just, few things going on. Waiting for contracts. I've started the year with new management. I am tickled pink. I'm thrilled.
Right.
And we're waiting on 2 big contracts. We're really just waiting on it. But here's the thing: you don't sit back and wait. And a lot of actors and whatnot, they'll sit back and wait for season 2. Well, the best thing that we can all do, and the girls and I have discussed it, is to keep busy.
You have to.
Because the busier that they are, the busier that I am, the busier that Robin Phoenix is, we bring a whole new dimension to the table.
Just to let you guys know too, that me and Dennis talked about this before you got here. I'll be reaching out to Robin, and
wonderful.
Oh, she's going to be fabulous. You're going to love her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
she's amazing.
Yeah.
again.
It's really cool.
I have a question here. Stephen mentioned. He says so much was cut in about as far as your editing goes. He mentioned since so much was cut, is there anything in season one, whether it's scenes or jokes, that you would throw in season two if it fit?
You know, because we actually cut out a couple of scenes. If it were to fit,
Right. If we have to tweak season 2 to add some of those things,
something like that in there,
we may do that.
We would if it worked. We would really
Right.
have to sincerely look at it because we've already written season 2 without that. But you know,
but they were great
it was
scenes.
they
really
were
fun
they were
and
great
funny
scenes.
and
We would have to
yeah.
reenact them because everybody, you know, will look a little bit differently, you know, going
Right.
into scene or
And
season
we definitely
2.
redo it.
You know, everything, hairstyle, you know, all of that stuff will be, you know, a little bit different. So we wouldn't want it to have that look that's just been thrown in there for the sake of
Right.
being thrown in. And we've also played around with using it as, you know, something that we talk about in season 2 as far as cuts. You know how like when you're
Like
watching it and they
bloopers
go
or whatever they
bloopers
do
and
there.
such and such. It's
This
like things
scene
that
was
didn't
cut.
make the cut.
This didn't make
You know,
the cut.
we could do.
Have you guys thought about doing? I mean, if that's something that's feasible, could you know, to reach out a bigger audience? Is it possible that you can make maybe make up a 1,000 copies of the season 1, and then maybe sell them and see what kind of response you get that way?
I think it depends on how well it's doing now, like as we continue to grow it organically and you know, see what the interest would be in regards to that as opposed to, you know, throwing more funds into creating a DVD. But it's a great idea. And if we you know, if we didn't do anything like that, it would be, you know, just something on season 2, you know, that references that. But yes, that's one of the things. What do they say when you're cutting the editor's floor? You know, it's like there's so many scenes and things that end up getting cut or yeah, because of the speed maybe that they were delivered, or you know, just different things that as long as it still tells that story that we want it to tell, those were the ones that we kept.
Well, it sounds like you guys are exactly, you know exactly where you're going to be at, you know exactly where you're going to go. I just think it's a good trip. I think it's a good journey. I think it's one that's going to be fun to watch, fun to follow. And yeah, would you? One question. I want to go real quick before we let you go, but let me ask you this couple of questions here. You mentioned something earlier that caught my ear, and you mentioned that this show is you call it? Would you say it's aimed toward a Christian audience? Is it a faith-based a series? You feel in your heart? Is this something if you walked up to Hallmark or GAC and you said, you know, take a look at this. I mean, tell me what you think. I mean, is this something that you would be comfortable with, or do you feel that's too narrow of an audience, and would you want to go bigger?
It's more of a clean audience or a clean show,
Inspirational.
clean, like family-based show, inspirational. Definitely not necessarily faith-based, but faith-based. But it is just a clean family fun show. Yeah. So we think that, you know, we don't want to put it necessarily in one small box. We definitely want, you know, more viewers to be able to see this.
And people who are Christians will see the Christian values in Daddy We're Back. People who may not be as faith-based will see it as inspirational, fun, funny, you know, so everyone will have different takes from it, you know, just kind of depending on their walk of life. So, you know, like Val said, we want to keep it not just in that box because we want to capture an audience of variety, you know, not just preaching to the choir, you know, or what have you, but to everyone. And sometimes people, if they look at it and they go, oh, this is a faith-based show, okay, they're only talking to faith-based people, you know, and this is talking to all people because everybody has trials and tribulations. So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't feel like you want to necessarily get, you know, you don't want to get hemmed in by that label then, right?
Right.
Even though the show itself runs toward that, but you want to see I get that. I can.
And we're Christians, so we definitely
we're
Christians.
I think, you know, we definitely will let you know that we're Christians. Our belief. And so, and you know, like I said, I think at the beginning is that we know this was God sent, meaning, you know, He birthed this into us. He knew, you know, all those types of things. And so when we do speak about our projects and things like that, we make it known, you know, that we are Christian women, you know, and we're grateful and we're thankful for this opportunity. And so, yeah, so we would never deny that. Like
No.
that's never
No.
something to deny.
Well, that answers my question. Is there any questions out in the audience here that would like to answer any questions for Angela and Valencia? What did I say before?
Yolanda, Verlandia or something. I don't know what you said.
Yolanda or
Oh, did you
something.
say?
Yolanda, what?
It's so many names I have to
Yolanda's
say.
her middle name. So if you said
it's
Yolanda, that's her middle name.
Now, on
Valencia.
your movie database page, I saw on the series. On the series it says Angela Jones and Valencia Watkins, and then when I looked on the movie database, it's Angela, Diane,
And Valencia
Yolanda. So do you want to? What is your stage names?
Angela, Diane.
Valencia.
Okay, good. So when I do this, I can put your names on here.
Why you said Yolanda?
I know, I say Yolanda.
Yeah, that's why I called you Yolanda. So basically, I did get it right. I said Angela Yolanda. It is the middle name.
I'm not gonna give that one to you. No, you did not.
Okay, at least I didn't. Okay, at least I didn't call you Dennis. I mean,
You didn't say Dennis.
That would be rough, Patrick, but okay.
is there any questions for our guest before we let him go for the night? Thank you to both for coming on and doing the show. And I have to tip my hat to John from Doomsday Crypt for having you guys on his show.
We love talking with you.
I'm so glad I came in there and because the last time I don't know if Dennis told you how they met, but when I interviewed Dennis here, and we and John were talking to him about SAG, and we were on his side. We're on Dennis's side, and Dennis is like, he didn't know how to handle that. He was like, I don't know. What are you guys doing? I was like, we like you, Dennis. We want to see you. We want to see you go boom, you know. And next thing I know, I see Dennis over there doing a show with John. I'm like, this is pretty tight. And did you come on? Awesome. You went on by yourself, right?
I think John and I started chatting that night on Facebook, and then, correct me if I'm wrong, John, within a matter of a week's time, we was on his show, and it's just, we hit it off, got the girls on, and he's a great guy. He's fun.
He really is.
I hope to make it up to the show in Orlando in May, so I want to get up there for the show.
Yes, he's about ready to start his convention run here, and he's got some other things, but I can't say anything about it because otherwise he'd kill me. He's gonna I'm gonna say it. He might get mad at me, but screw it. But he's gonna take on the road. He's doing a finger puppet show of Halloween '78.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
With my puppet. Yeah,
okay.
I can't wait for that. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Aw,
Way to go, John. Okay. Let's see. Any more questions? See, Casey thinks that's awesome too. I'm probably gonna hear from John later on about this. But I'll let you guys go. I'm going to say thank you very much to the audience for coming in and for having us. Let us be coming in into your houses and you coming over here and hanging out and watching this interview. Dennis, as always, a pleasure, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Give my respect to Rebecca and to the Wonder Twins. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to finish the series. How do we get a hold? How do people find you on social media? Are you on social media at all?
We are on social media. So for Daddy We're Back, they can just at this point YouTube it. Just put Daddy We're Back, episodes 1 through 8, and just sit there and binge watch. But please share it. So don't hoard it and like it and love it, and then just keep it in your heart. Like share it out. So we can we want to really push.
And sometimes, like some people like to go like in the middle of a show to the end and watch it that way, and then go back and see what happened that caused all of it. So if you want to start in the middle, just to see what it's like first, and then go to the end, and then go back up.
Too.
Yeah,
do you guys have like Instagrams for individual Instagrams? Okay,
Yes,
I'll
we're
get
under
that.
Instagram is Angela and Valencia. We are under Facebook is Angela and Valencia. We have a link tree. If you go into our link tree account, it actually links to all of it: Instagram, Facebook,
Everything's all
YouTube,
in that one.
our Irish
Right.
Twin Production YouTube page. So
Okay.
you can do it that way as well. Go to Irish Twin Productions on YouTube, and
Okay.
you will be able to see all of our work. Like we have Angie BB and Me, which is a kids cooking and crafting TV show that we do. And then you can also see, of course, a little bit of Bubblegum and Candy, one of our Vision of Harmony videos, and
The
definitely
tree is
Daddy,
definitely
We're
where to go
Back.
because you have everything right
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to put all that in case folks want to find you, so we'll put it down in the interview down in the description box below. So tomorrow night, I hope everybody comes over. We'll have actress Sean Riley will be here with us at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Oh Lord, what'd you say about counting all the ums and oohs, Dennis? Yeah.
Who's
All
counting?
right, folks. We will talk to you tomorrow night, Dennis and the twins. Stay right where you're at. I know. I'm just so used to calling you that. Hold on.
It's okay. We're used to it.